a little bit late. We are having technical difficulties. And so I am going to I'm thing and we will see if we can get her on here. We're having a few technical difficulties. So if you come on, say hi. Hi, Suzanne. Hey, sister. Um, bear with me for a second while I post this link, okay? Use true. Thank you, Suzanne. Oh my gosh. Okay. So if Luanne comes on, so let me go, please bear with us. Luanne's so cool and we want her to be able to try to get in here and come on. If not, I'm just going to show you what I'm making based on what Luanne said she was going to make. But let me see if I can message her and let her know. Okay, I posted the link on my Facebook page. That's what I want to let her know. Okay, so you guys can hear me do this. This is technical difficulties. Okay, sister, I posted the link on my Facebook page on the live, period. Use it and see if you can make it work. If not, we'll figure something out another day. And I love you. This is what goes on behind the scenes usually, you guys. So you just get to see it, but whenever you have technical difficulties, it sucks. So my baby would start crying in the store. Same feeling. That's the feeling I get. So we'll see if she can get in. Okay. I know Luann was going to work with Clay. By the way, cheers. How's everybody doing? Cara's crew is in the house. I see that. We just need to get Luann in the house. That's all. Luann, where art thou? If you're coming on here and you're new to my page, my name is Cara Lockwood. My business is Cara's Color Me Creative. I am a creative life coach, an artist, a teacher, and Cara's crew is showing up in full force tonight, and I love that. We have a group that takes place on Facebook and Patreon, and we do all sorts of art and some little creative crafts, but mostly art because we're artists in the making, right? Hi, Lou. Hello, my friend. So, if you're interested, you can go to Patreon and check it out because whether you want to hang out on Facebook or on Patreon, that's where we sign up, is on Patreon. Cara's crew is in the house. Oh, it looks like Luann made it. She made it. Yay! Crew is in the house. Oh, it looks like Luann made it. She made it. Yay! You're there. You're here. Okay. Do you have a background? Do you have volume on somewhere, sister? Okay. Do you have a background? Do you have
Yeah.
volume on somewhere? Sister? Okay. Talk to us. Oh. Whoa. That was short-lived. Oh my gosh. Hi, Mary Rush. Hi, Carrie. Oh. Okay, Luann, go ahead and use that link again because it looks like you X'd yourself. There you go.
Am I back?
You're back. Use that link again because it looks You're back. You just need to turn your volume down.
I'm back?
Am I back? Yeah. You're back. Use that link again because it looks You're back. You just need to turn your volume down. Oh my gosh, Sue's checking in from Hawaii.
How's that?
Perfect.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I need a bottle of wine.
Here we go.
I couldn't get on my phone, so I'm on my iPad, but my phone, I think my phone is working. I just saw my thumb, so I don't know.
Who knows? I was having some problems on my end, and then I started going like, well, I have to go really fast because Facebook doesn't allow you to start an event more than 10 minutes late, right? So if you're 10 minutes late, it's done. It's like Facebook will cancel it, and it's crazy. So I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, I got to get on, and we'll figure it out. But it's good. We did it.
Okay, good. I hope I don't know where I'm supposed to look, so I'm sorry about that.
You're
But
good.
this is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited. There's a lot of people tuning in. So Sue's watching from Hawaii, and Cara's crew is in the house for sure. They're out in full force. So
Awesome.
I love that. What are we
Awesome.
doing today, Miss? So wait,
So
I want you
with
to first tell everybody about yourself a little bit, just in case somebody comes on here who doesn't know you, which I can't even imagine, but you do
Well,
that
I'm
first.
Luanne Haak with My Little Flower Designs. I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I panic when I have to work with computers. Um, and I am a mixed media artist. I do a lot of pet portraits is really what I do a bunch of. I'm trying to get more into abstract art. I'm a member of Cara's crew. The doodle art that I do and the whimsical florals that I do that you've taught me have, soared. So that's really, that's about all I know about me.
Luanne, I'll add to that. Luanne is an extremely talented artist, and whatever she picks up, she can do really well at. Hi, Carrie Carter and Sherry Hersey and Barbara and Kathy from San Antonio. Thanks, you guys, for coming.
Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. I can't
Yeah.
see anyone's comments, so.
I know. You're in the dark, girl.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Okay, tell us what we're doing today.
So we're working with air dry clay. And the reason why I picked this, I think the camera's over there. The reason why I picked this is because it's something that everybody could do.
Mhm.
And it is something that you can get anywhere. So the clay that I have right now for tonight is from Michael's. Obviously, I use a lot of IOD, air dry clay, iron orchid design. But I wanted this to be something that is just accessible for everybody. So the clay that I use a lot of is from Michael's, or you could use the Crayola air dry kids clay from Target. And I'm going to show you different things that I've made with it. Once a season, once every other month, I have like a ladies' night at my house, and we made these vases.
I love that.
Using air dry clay. And it really was just a little, I'll get this right, a little vase from Target, $3. This one's a little bit bigger. And then the air dry clay. So we're going to walk through the steps. You don't need to use a form to make any of these. It's all just free form. So this is accessible for anybody hopping on your page, whether they think they can create or whether they can't. We're going to walk them through and get it done.
Love that. I love that. I know, Kathy. I mean, it's so great. So I think that in kind of the crowd that we all run with or have run with or what have you, the using it with the molds and all that is something we're used to. But for me, just like stencils and all that, that's how I used to work. And now I use stencils for backgrounds and all that, but I really, really try to do my own work. And that's why I love that you're doing it this way. I got my air clay because I didn't have any more IOD, and I was in Cabo, so I had to order it while I was in Cabo. I got it from Amazon, and it's a big package. It's DAS. Yeah. It's a big package, but I'm gonna work on a lampshade.
Oh, good. That'll be fun.
I mean, to be honest, I already started, and I had it sitting in front of a heater.
Well, we're going to go step by step with this. It's not going to be a necessarily finished product tonight, but I'm going to show everyone how to finish it. Excuse me, right up to the ceiling of it. at the end.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So I just had Sculpey air dry clay. And
Okay.
it's just very pliable. You just break it off and, you just kind of, with your fingers, you just mix
Yeah.
it. Mix
Like
it
in
up.
grade school.
And again, so this is a block that I've done. This is just a 2x4 wood block that I cut. And we sculpt all of the different flowers. I kind of like this, I call it my doodling with clay, because you make pieces and then you kind of fill in areas and just kind of piece it together. So we're going to make a lot of these little floral shapes, put them on a wood block. I have an empty wood block here. And we're going to go step by step. And then I have a painted piece, and then we're going to glaze it and show you everything step by step.
Okay, wow, that sounds like a lot. You are amazing, and I know you can do it.
Well, we'll see. I can do this. I just can't get online. So honestly,
She's like, I'm all right. I'm all right.
Well, I'm just taking some clay and just make little balls. I make a bunch of the little balls because, again, like doodling, I like to have different things that just sort of like fillers and to fit in.
Yeah, a lot.
So just roll it between your hands, different sizes, real little, bigger, and then we're going to make some different things with it.
Okay.
I also went around my house and I got different tools that we can use to show you different ways to create texture in these flowers. So they're not just
that you and I are so much alike, because I did the same thing. Well, mostly I went into my kitchen.
I did
right? I go into my kitchen and my husband's like, what are you taking that for? What are you taking that for? What are you taking that for?
Well, I'm excited
he's
to
the
see
cook.
what you
guys
took, because it'll be interesting or fun to see if we pick the same thing. So a couple of the other shapes that I like to make are just like, oh, that's interesting. This is my most interesting one.
Nice.
An antique pepper shaker.
Oh, I love that.
So little balls in different shapes, and then little, I don't want to call them egg shapes, but just not balls, just kind of flatten them out. So make a bunch of those. We'll get started on the flowers, just to make something a little bit more fun and a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
So again, just little things of clay, roll it to get it soft and to get it smooth in your hand. And then, we just flatten it out. This is kind of like an egg shape. Can you see that? Kind of like an egg shape. So it's flattened. It's to a point in here. So it's like a flower petal.
Yeah.
So we just need, flowers. I like odd numbers. So 5 of those, and we'll put our first little flower together.
Okay.
We need tacky glue. Do you have tacky glue?
I just got what I have. And that's what I like about what you said, is like, sometimes you just have to use what you have. So I got jewelry glue, and I had actually Elmer's glue.
Okay.
And I tested the Elmer's glue with a little piece, and it really worked well. So I'm like,
hey, good.
We'll work it for now, and if it falls off later, I'll put more glue on.
Well, you know what? Elmer's glue will work great. A lot of times when I use just not tacky glue, I'll pour it out so it just kind of tacks up, actually.
Yeah. And tacky glue is very similar to Elmer's glue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're just going to, I should have had some of these made.
It's okay.
Actually, I do.
Go ahead.
I wanted to test, I've read before that you can put this in the freezer. You can make them ahead of time and put them in the freezer.
Yes.
And I took them out, and they are becoming more pliable again. I thought that, so you can make these when you're watching Super Bowl or any kind of TV. Make them, throw them on wax paper, put them in your freezer, and they've been in the freezer for a few days, and now they're starting to defrost, and they're very pliable. Now this one's not going to work. I wanted to try a braid and it's not going to work. But but see how it's pliable instead of just breaking?
Yeah, it just dries it out probably a little bit, but for this, it'll work fine, right?
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it even dried it out. So this is one that I made, and it was in the freezer.
Nice.
So it's like a little nest. And that'll be the next one that we do.
Okay.
We'll just make a couple of different styles, and then by the magic of social media, I'll have a block finished, and then we can glaze it and do all that fun stuff.
Yeah, you make the nest. I'm throwing something else on here, and I'll show y'all later.
How much time do we have?
Half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay.
That's why I was like, well, that's a lot, Luanne. Let's go for it. You're fine. You're fine. But I try to make these kind of like short and sweet and fun, just like really light.
Right.
So yeah, but don't worry about it. We won't worry about time.
No, I can appreciate short and sweet. My husband, I usually see him walking behind the camera where nobody can see him, and he's clicking to his watch like,
that's enough. That's enough, Luanne. Well, my husband will just start making noise in the kitchen, but I'm so happy I got these little AirPods, so now nobody can hear that noise in the background, I don't think.
So you guys have cold weather in Texas?
Oh my goodness. It is. So we got back from Cabo last night at midnight, and it was so funny because we were wearing, our sandals and everything on the plane because it was warm in there. And when we had checked the weather a week ago, coming back to Texas, it was supposed to be like 50 degrees. We're like, okay, well, we'll deal with the sandals at 50 degrees. That's fine, right? No, it was 26 degrees and just freezing cold. And then today the freezing rain started. And for the next 3 days, we're supposed to have freezing rain, which happens like once every couple years. And I've had the pleasure of experiencing it now 3 times. And I would prefer not.
Yeah. We have that every other weekend, it seems, here.
I know. You're like, poor baby, whatever.
Okay, so I have my first flower done, and I have it glued onto the wood block. And this wood block, you see a little bit of white. I just put a little bit of texture paint on there. So you're doing it on fabric, which it's going to stick to that. If you want to do it on a shiny surface like glass, you would have to prime that glass. It needs to have some kind of tooth.
Abrasion.
Yeah.
Right?
For the glue to stick. So this is just I lost a petal somewhere. I didn't even see where it went. Oh, here. It's just flipping around. So this is just a basic little flower. Nothing spectacular about that. I'm going to put one of my bigger balls in the center of it, and then we're going to kind of detail it.
Details.
Yeah. So the glue is wet. That's why it keeps sliding away. So it's just a little flower, and I put one of the balls on there. And now I'm just going to take my knife, and you can, just like if you were, painting a petal, take my knife and kind of
make the
score right into the petals
in there, like the yes. So, I can't wait to show you what I'm doing. You and I.
Don't you be showing me up, Cara.
No, I'm not going to show you up. That's impossible.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Oh, so you guys, a funny thing about Luanne is she's super humble. And when you tell her that's amazing, her words are almost always, it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right.
So
and we're always saying, no, you have to say it's great.
Let me see. So there is my little flower, and I just kind of scored simply these petals.
I love it. I love that we're doing this without the molds.
Yeah, it's three-dimensional, and when you see it, we're going to make a glaze to put on top of it, and then when it's finished, it's three-dimensional, and it's just I love it so much.
Fantastic. And I can't wait to hear how you're making the glaze.
Yeah, paint and water. Just something easy for everyone. So now that I have this big flower on and I have a couple of little balls, I'm just going to kind of fit some balls in here because it's kind of, I like making it kind of like a puzzle piece, different shapes, different things.
Yeah. Love that. When
Again,
do you put
kind
the
of like
glaze on?
doodling
Oh,
the clay.
Michelle's asking when you put the glaze on.
So you need to let this dry completely. So we're making this tonight. So the glaze would be 2 steps away, actually. After this dries completely, you paint it. Now you can paint it by hand painting it, with Daydream Apothecary paint, anything, really any color that you want. I tend to spray
You
it
can
because
paint it
it
with
is
any kind of paint,
three-dimensional.
right?
You can paint it with any kind of paint. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Is that what you said, Cara? Yeah.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
can paint
Yes.
it with any kind of paint. You might want to spray prime it first, and then paint it just to kind of seal the clay so it doesn't absorb, like say you're using golden paint or something like that. You don't want it to absorb all of that. All right, drop my ball. Okay, so now I have this other little shape. I call this the bird's nest. And all I did was you take, a little bit bigger of a piece of clay, not just like to make a small ball.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh. Oh,
I'm
that's my neighbor. That's my neighbor. I walk her dog. Sorry.
Is she at the door?
No.
Oh.
No. I should have told her that I was going on. So now you take a bigger ball and you just kind of flatten it like a pancake.
Are you making like roses?
Yeah.
Oh,
Kind of.
okay. I'm gonna hop on this train in a second. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
they're kind of like roses. So we're going to make this one right here now.
Okay. Love it.
So you just flatten it, and the edges of this are starting to split, and that makes it really, really nice. It even gives it a little bit nicer of a texture. So you make, a large one or a medium sized one, and then you make one a little bit smaller. You want to put it on top, and then you pinch it together. So 2 pancakes.
2 pancakes.
A large one and a small one. And you put a drop of glue. You do have to glue these layers together. So you put a drop of glue even though the clay is wet. You put it on.
Do you know, and I don't know this. I'm asking for real. Do you know if you can, like you can with regular clay, if you can wet the clay to stick it together?
I don't know that.
Okay.
I honestly don't know that. I just glue it because it ends up really being a piece of art, and I don't want to, take any chance of it not sticking.
Right. I'm gonna start making my rose now.
So it's those 2 little discs that I put together, and can you see? So I put the smaller one on top, so it's kind of layered. So when we glaze it, the glaze is going to sit in there, and it's really going to make it look 3D. So I pinched it, just just like that, like little lips. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Wait, what was that? Say that again.
Hello. So I'm gonna glue this down. And also, and again, this is all just a personal preference. I kind of like everything to flow, not like a straight line, but again, it's personal preference. You can place
Right.
these any way you want.
Right. Okay.
And I'm going to put a drop of glue on the inside of that. And I'm going to put 3 really teeny tiny little balls on the inside. And all it does, again, you're just,
I have this
you know,
little roller I got from the kitchen. Sorry, we're not hearing each other the whole time. This little rolling pin is so handy from the kitchen. That's
I
nice.
thought about
That
looking
works.
for something like that. But I'm on my dining room table and it is not covered with plastic or anything.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so funny. I'm on my dining room table, but we got some wax paper down here.
Yeah. You do want to cover your table when you're doing arts, but my table is so full of glitter and paint splatter, and fortunately it just looks like a distressed country table.
Yeah.
And I love
or maybe just that you're an artist.
Yeah. People come to my house and they say, "Oh my God, I love your table." So could be a good thing.
Why not?
Again, so now I'm just going to, again, time to just kind of fill little things in. This is a bigger ball, and I have a straw here. And I'm going to, a straw, because I just want like a perfect circle.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
To plop down, just to make a little bit of texture, a little bit of, just movement or something. So
yeah.
I just have a straw. And this is where the fun and the creative part comes in. So I'm going to make.
I don't know if you can see this, but I was loosely following directions, which is basically how I do things, right?
That's how I do it.
Right? Yeah, we're artists. That's what we do. We loosely follow directions. And it's going to be fun when it gets a little stiffer, when the clay gets a little stiffer, so I can kind of mold it and make it more 3D.
That's really pretty. That's nice, right? And thin.
Yeah, I like it.
Very feathery.
Yeah, it's very thin because I had that roller. So that's kind of fun, different.
Yeah.
This is fun, Luanne. I haven't done this. I have only done this kind of stuff with the clay because, obviously because I was a retailer and all that, like working with the molds, right? And I'm so happy to not work with the molds, even though for everybody who sells the molds, I want you to sell the molds and buy them. No, I'm not saying that.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a place for everything. Like when I was looking to find something, I found molds that I have made for Christmas that I forgot I had. Otherwise, I would have made some Christmas blocks.
Yeah.
So this little flower. So I took my straw and I just kind of, blopped in the center and then all around it to just kind of give it texture.
Fun.
Can you see that?
Yeah, I need
simple textures. Next, I am going to
I gotta make some more roses.
Yeah, your roses are really pretty. Let me see.
I'm gonna call mine.
This is
mine are peonies.
Yeah, so this is kind of like, where is it? Right there. Your rose. This is thinner. This is the vase that my girlfriend made on our ladies' night. I had one, and then my mom came and stole it, so I had to go to her house and grab her vase to show everyone. But you see how the glaze just kind of settles in, and it just really makes it pop.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
3D and fun.
Really pretty. I need like I want like something now. I start working and I'm just like, okay, I need this. I need something to cut it. A little circle. I'll just rip it. Do you do that, like where you need something and you can't find it, and so you just use whatever you can find, whatever you can get your hands on, and it doesn't matter the value of that thing or anything? It's like, I have to do this, and I will ruin things. I mean, David knows very well. He's probably over there in the kitchen listening to me going, yes, how many tools have I found in your studio?
Well, hence my dining room table.
Right,
I
exactly.
have to hurry up and stain something or seal something, and I would never take the 2 minutes it takes to put the plastic down.
Yeah. See, I
So
rolled this out ahead of time because I was like, I know I'm going to need rolled out clay, and I just
yeah,
rolled it out to be ready for you.
that's
So
brilliant. I wish that I had a little roller. I just have a great big roller. So I didn't bother to bring one out, but the
this
thin feathery
$2 at
clay,
Walmart, you guys. $2 at Walmart for these. Yes.
really, in the baking section?
Yes. They have
Huh.
a whole section where like they've got all and they're all these colors, so that's always a bonus too.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
of like $2 tools, and they're kind of like all like almost mini tools, so they'd be good for kids too, you know?
that's awesome.
Um, yeah, yeah. Very handy, very handy.
So we're just, so I'm going to, so now I'm going to take the edge of my, uh, a serving spoon that we have, and it has, can you see that? Let me see if the lighting, if I can get it for the lighting. So it's embossed with kind of like a shell shape on it. And that's the fun part about doing all of
What?
this is just kind of going around your house and seeing, and we'll see if this works, like if this kind
That's
of
a
embosses.
great idea.
So it
Yes,
does.
that's an amazing idea, Luanne.
So I think this will be really nice. You know what? I don't have my light out here. I'm sorry. Um, so this will be fun because
You're
it
okay.
has the little shell embossed on it. And actually, learning from Cara, I'm going to take my knife.
That is such a great idea. Oh my
And I'm
gosh.
going to make this so now it's almost like a little leaf. So I'm going to put this. And again, this is just, it's just puzzle pieces. It's just putting things down and filling it in and seeing where you like your negative space and your positive space. And
Well, I'm having so much fun. Just like it was funny because, before we came on and before we did all this, I'm just getting all this stuff ready. And of course, I right away I started like just like molding, 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 and doing things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm already having fun, and then we haven't even started. Could you texture? Absolutely, you could, Lori. So Lori Stanley Henderson says, could you texture with corrugated cardboard?
oh my gosh, yes. That would be
Oh,
cool. That would be really cool. We're going to use,
literally, do you remember when we were kids? Well, I'm sure you did it. Most of us did. I mean, the kids nowadays know. But we would do etchings with crayons and paper.
oh yeah.
So you literally, I think for something like this, it would be a fun thing to do is just think about that. Like when we were kids, right? And go around your house and find things with texture. I mean, don't be like me and use like valuable things and ruin them, right? But find things with texture and go like, oh my gosh, that would be really cool printed in clay or, used as a print on, paint or whatever. I mean, I think that's just a
Yeah.
really cool thing to do.
Okay, so while you were
This
talking,
is,
I
oh,
was
sorry,
just
yes.
pretending like I was watching TV. Not well. I was listening to you talk, but what I'm trying to say is I
I know
just
how we
made a
watch
bunch of little
TV.
balls, like just a bunch of little balls because we're going to need those for fillers
Yeah,
in areas.
gotcha.
I was listening to you though, Kara.
You don't have to worry about that. Like I've been in my own world already like 5 times tonight. So that's what we do for each other, right?
Yep. Okay, so now I just have a piece. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And if you have molds, again, I wanted to do this so nobody had to buy anything, order anything
Yes.
that you could go to Target and get everything that you need tonight right here. You just need the air dry clay. You
Yeah.
need a little bit of glue. You need a surface to put your air dry clay on, whether it's, a little clay pot. Clay pots work the best, not the glazed ones, but the clay, because you're painting it anyhow. Whether it's a 2x4 wood block,
Lampshade.
a lampshade. This is just a little round wood disc that they were baby shower gifts that people used for ornaments. So we painted them blue, pink, green, and
Yeah.
yellow, and they were just on their plate.
Yeah.
This here is just a cigar box. Now this is done with the molds. So this was a cigar box that I did.
Love
And
that.
you can use it, like a jewelry box. Yeah.
I
Imported
love
Ashton, made by hand
that.
cigars.
I have a whole stack of those out in my studio.
Yeah. So
Love that.
it's fun to do different things. Yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit. So I have
Yeah.
my
Something
clay
I
here.
learned
Now
from
I'm
the
going to take,
IOD sisters, real
pardon me?
quick, something I learned from the IOD sisters, with their molds and stuff, if you're like, so this lampshade, right? I want the flower to stay there, is you can
Mm-hmm.
just lightly tape it.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
now I can move it around and work somewhere else because it was sliding everywhere.
Yes. That's a great tip, especially on a surface. So you would do that when you're doing on your pot because this is a rounded surface, just like your lampshade. This is
Yeah.
flat, so it's just flat on the table. You don't need to use tape.
Right.
And see how everything's starting to stick already? Like when I first did this, it was starting to slide, and now the tacky glue is starting to stick.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it.
So this one, I'm just going to press right into my look at that. Look at that texture.
Is that from your
From
salt
my salt and
shaker?
pepper shaker.
I have one of those, the vintage one, right? And it's like
Mm-hmm.
bubbly.
Yep.
That's
And I
so
just press
rad.
right on it.
Wait,
I'm gonna
where is
glue
it?
it right.
I feel like
Oh,
it's right
David!
here. It's not. Darn it.
Okay, and now I'm taking all of these little balls and I'm putting glue down, and I like things in threes or odd numbers and
Yes.
different shapes, different sizes.
So fun. I have some leaves on mine too that I'm putting on.
Yes. Did you make your leaves?
I did.
And how did you make them?
I made some leaves and I'm still like I was telling you, I rolled out some clay and so I have this that I stole from the kitchen too. I think this is actually a pastry knife for cutting pastry dough, which this is perfect, right? And I just cut out little, yeah. Yeah, I just cut out little, so I've got like these little things right here.
Oh yeah, because you rolled it and you got it flat and then you were able to do that.
Yeah, so now I'm just going to score them and put some, my dots, doodles, and daisies lines in them. Like you said, it's like that. Like
it's
I
just like
always,
dots, doodles, and daisies, and I love it.
Yeah, I tend to go towards that anyways.
So we have the gist of it. You tell me when you want me to stop making different flowers. I'll make one more of a shape.
Okay, let's do one more and then you can show us how you glaze it.
And if you get tired, or if you start feeling a little bit lazy, you just make really big petals.
Right, you make
really
it
big
bigger.
Flower petals, and it just takes up a lot of area.
I mean, that's definitely like what I do with any of my doodles, right? We got to start. I always just like start off with a big thing, and then like I'm like this, beep beep beep, and make all sorts of circles.
Yeah.
Yes, Carrie Carter. It's air dry. It's air dry clay. Interesting and fun. Thank you, Sherry.
I'm glad you can see the comments.
I'm when I get in, like, so I'm, I got into the groove. You got me, Luanne. When I get into the groove, I'm really bad at reading them. So sorry, you guys.
So this flower, I'll show you it in a second. It's kind of like a double layer flower, double petal layer flower.
Okay.
And again, I'm just making the little, I'll call them egg-shaped petals, just little petal shapes. and I
Uh-huh.
made big ones, and now I have smaller ones that I'm putting just on top of the bigger ones.
Love it. I love that we're doing this. I've wanted to do something like this on a lamp for a long time. So,
Oh, good.
yeah. I have this thing, like this thing that I promised myself with any like all of this stuff, like the, activities and just any of this that like if I can do it on something that I already have, and I think this is good for everyone, right? If I can do it on something I already have rather than go buy all the materials and do it with something I already have, then that's going to be better. And so I'm just like looking around the house, what am I going to do this with? Oh, I'm going to do that lampshade. Super cool.
Yeah.
And then our houses are not like anybody else's, which is so fun, right?
Yes. Yeah. We made these. So my girlfriends and I made these, and for like a just a spring decoration. And now they can't be outside. These are definitely, because it's clay, unless you seal it with resin. That makes it an
Yeah,
airtight, watertight seal. You can't keep these outside. I mean,
right,
I don't think so. I would imagine not, because it's clay. So this
right.
is the last flower that I made, this great big one right here. So you see I made the bigger petals in the back. Then I
Yes.
put 3 smaller petals, and then I just put the little center thing. And then I took my knife and I just kind of scored the 3 center petals.
Love it. Yeah, love
So
it.
this is what we've got going so far. And honestly, fill more in with the little balls and do a couple more little flowers, and these pieces are good to go.
Love it.
The sides I put these blocks, and here again is the finished one. It reminded me a lot of Sid Dickens blocks.
Yes, yes. And there I think a lot of the IOD girls and all that do like that style blocks and all that, but if you
Mm-hmm.
guys don't know that, it's Sid SID Dickens, and he's I mean, he's an artist, right?
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
makes these like cool vintage blocks mostly, right?
Yeah, they're really cool. I have a collection of about 5, I think, or 6 of them. And then I started making my own. So I have 5 hanging down one wall on my entry, and then I have 5 that I've made of my own
Which
down the
one do you
other
like
wall.
the best?
What? I mean, I am very proud of the blocks that I've made.
Yeah.
I love the variety of both of them. I'll put it that
Good.
way.
Okay.
So one I did a live a couple of years ago, and I had uh, and I don't know if Carrie's still on, but I remember she was on that live, I believe, or watching
Oh
an
no.
Indian girl that had done um, henna for my daughter-in-law, and then she made these cookies. So she came and she did the design on the block, and then we resined those. So I
Oh,
have
cool.
that, and then I have one that has the
Nice. That's so cool.
yeah. I have a beach one that I made. I have one with the IOD forms. I have an American flag,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
and then this one. So those are my 5. Okay, so we have all of this done on our block, or this could go on canvas. This could really go on anything that's going to hold
Right.
glue and hold the weight of the clay. So this is where we're at right now. The next step would be, and how I would do it, I would spray paint it. I would just spray prime it just to get, because it's 3D. If you want to paint it, like I painted this blue, but if you really look, you can see underneath the
Yeah.
flowers.
To get into all those little cracks, because it does tend to crack too, which is
Yes.
like part of the charm, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
So you want to prime it, and then by the magic of Facebook and social media, our block is primed.
Like a cooking show.
It's primed and painted. I just used an ivory spray paint. Again, I just used a spray paint. I
Yeah.
tend to like to do things just quickly.
Yeah.
So it's been completely dried for a few days. It's been primed. It's been painted, And now it is time to glaze it. And if you give me a second, I am going to put plastic down right where
Okay.
I'm sitting. It's right
Yeah,
here.
I want to see how you glaze it. It's so fun, you guys. Thank you, Lori. Thank you for coming. Kiri Carter.
Yeah, thank you everyone who's on. I can't see anything. Oh, all I see is you're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you with my picture.
No, there's a bunch of crew has been on. Sue is on. Folger, Sherry Hurry, Kiri Carter, Karen Hannah, Lori Stanley, my friend Lou, the Jewish redneck. I'm not quite sure who that is. That's on YouTube, so we'll see. Oh my gosh, Kathy Inks. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of fun people on here, and Sue Walters. She is such a good supporter of all of us. She is on.
Yeah, she really is. Hi everybody, and thank you. So this is just what I used, just the spray paint. You can do it in any color. Again, this was just done in a Tiffany blue, and then this is an ivory.
Sandy.
So this is the step that we're at right now.
Okay.
So the clay is dry, the clay is glued on, dried, primed, and painted.
Nice.
So it's time to glaze. And all my glaze, I meant to bring the brown out. All my glaze is burnt umber and water. If you have any kind of liquid glaze, you can mix it with that. And this is really from my old faux finishing days, so I never bother to make anymore.
Burnt umber is like, you guys, it's like the ultimate antique finishing color, I think, right?
It really is. You can't, it's just beautiful. So you want to.
It looks beautiful with all colors too. That's the thing. It looks beautiful with green. It looks beautiful with fuchsia. It looks
My neighbor's
beautiful.
calling again. It does. It's a great color. It's a great, fabulous color. Are you there? Okay. I'm going to lock her off. Okay.
That's funny.
So it's just burnt umber glaze, and I'm going to pour some on a plate here. And all you do is brush it on and wipe it off. It's just incredibly easy.
Nice.
So I've got this. I'm just going to paint my glaze on there. And you want to get in everywhere. You don't want it to just kind of sit on top.
Yeah. And adding the water, obviously, I mean, I shouldn't say obviously. It doesn't mean it's obvious to everybody, but adding the water is what's going to help that to soak in to everything, right?
It thins it out, so it kind of dilutes the brown.
Carrie, she said burnt umber and water. So
burnt umber and water.
Golden, is it golden burnt umber?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know what? I use golden. I use Nova. Colors. It could be whatever.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm. Can you give me 1 second? Real quick. Sorry.
Yeah. Luanne taught you resin pours. Luanne is amazing. She teaches a lot of people a lot of things. She doesn't know how amazing she is. So we're going to have to tell her how amazing she is, right? I mean, come on. All of us ladies need to understand how amazing we are.
I'm back. I'm sorry. I just wanted to tell my husband that my neighbor kept calling. She's kind of in a her legs are bothering her, and I'm sure she needs her dog walked before bed. I walk her dog for her in the morning. Take her out.
Oh, poor thing. So that's so hard.
And since she's called a couple of times, I just told my husband, go.
Yeah.
Take one for the team.
Well, that's nice of you to help.
Yeah, she's been awesome. Okay, so it's just, again, here it is.
Look at that. I mean, look at that change.
So what I'm going to do is my brush, I just have a little bit of water on, And because this is dry and because it's painted and because it is sealed with the paint, it's solid. So I'm just going to take a baby wipe or a paper towel, whatever you have handy. These are baby wipes that are actually really dry. So it's like a paper towel.
And just wipe the excess off, right?
I'm just wiping the excess off.
And then if you're not going to resin it, what is your favorite finish?
I brought that because, so this is what it looks like. So they're, short of me not doing a great job. So you just kind of pull it in. But what I also like to do before we get to the finishing is I like to put a little bit of white. So I like to tip the whites a little, tip it with white. And again, it's just plain old white paint. And
what do you mean by tip it?
Just take like dry brush.
Dry brush. Okay.
So I'm just going to dry brush. So I dipped. See how some of these flowers are just popping, and you don't have to do it with every flower.
Oh, we keep up.
So it's just popping. It looks really nice on top of, like the white balls, the center of the flowers.
Yeah. And now you've got like
just gives it a little bit more dimension.
Pretty antique-y finish, right?
Very pretty. And then the last thing that I do, you can wipe some of that off. Like this is really, I would take more time to kind of wipe the antique because it's really thick on the inside there. But the last thing that I do, and I'm going to do it with a copper paint, I have a toothbrush and I'm just going to spritz it.
Oh, with copper?
Yeah, why not? So I've got copper and I have it on my toothbrush. And that's going to be really pretty. When this is sealed, it's going to be really pretty. I don't know that you're going to see anything tonight. You could do it with the burnt umber.
Yeah.
So you just want to flick it with your toothbrush. I'm going to do some burnt umber so you can see.
I love the copper.
So I'm flicking it with my toothbrush, with the burnt umber, with the white, and a little bit of copper just to get color in there. It's all over your fingers or mine.
Oh, Sue said it would be cool to use colored waxes in the grooves. Yes. Oh, yeah.
So here is the finished front.
Love it.
Anyhow, you have to let that dry. And then as far as finishing goes, there's 3 different ways you can finish it. The first is with resin, obviously. And that gives it that glass top, that glass-like top. So this is resin. You can see how it's like glass.
Yes.
With the light hitting it. Very, very pretty. I put a little bit of clear crystal in the resin. So it's very, it's really, really pretty.
Yeah.
You can finish it just with like a spray varnish, which this is just flat, like a Liquitex flat. And you can see that see how I flicked this with the burnt umber. I tipped the blue with the white.
Yeah.
And then I flicked it with the burnt umber.
Yeah.
But my favorite glaze for this that anyone can get, because it makes this pottery look like it's fire glaze.
Pottery.
This is pot. Yeah, it looks like pottery. It's not flat. It has a sheen, and it's called Rust-Oleum triple thick glaze.
Triple thick glaze, and it's a spray.
It's a spray. And you get it at Home Depot, and it's a high gloss coating.
Write that down. That's good. That's good info.
Yeah, that's what we used for this, and it gives such a beautiful sheen. You wouldn't be able to resin a pot or your lampshade or anything like that, because the resin would just, unless you have a spinner, like when
You
Myra would make her
challenge me.
tumblers.
You challenge me, Luanne.
Well, go ahead. Let us know how it goes.
She's like, go ahead. Go ahead.
Unless
Let
you
me
had
know
a
how that works
spinner
out for
that's
you.
spinning, it would just run off and dry like drips. So
Yeah.
this Rust-Oleum triple thick glaze. Screenshot it, write it down. I love
Wow.
this stuff.
That's one I've never heard of. So that's cool.
And then that is it. The resin that I use, if you want to venture with resin, is I use artist resin from Counterculture DIY, and I love it because it's a 2-part resin, which means it's equal portions.
Yeah.
No math is needed. So it would be
Yeah.
a quarter of a cup A to a quarter, you would need like 5 tablespoons of A to 5 tablespoons of B for something like this. Resin
Right.
spreads and it becomes a liquid. It goes very far. But I love it because you don't really have to think, a third of one part and 2/3 of another.
Yeah.
It's just simple math. But I have to say, I've done a lot of resin, and you need to protect yourself. You need to do it outside in a well-ventilated area. This triple thick also smells. So you want to do it in a well-ventilated area.
Yeah, because you had a little accident with resin one time.
I did.
Huh?
So this I sprayed today, and I sprayed this with triple thick.
That is so cool.
So my little doodle heart.
It looks so good. I've never seen that. So I'm going to have,
you have to
well, shoot, our roads are iced over. I can't go tomorrow. But as soon as they melt, I'm out.
Home Depot. I've only ever found it at Home Depot.
Okay. Awesome.
And it's Rust-Oleum. And that's
awesome. Well, thank you. I love you bunches.
I hope I didn't go too fast. I would love to see if anyone does this. I would love to see what they do.
You guys, please share it. Please share it on Luanne's page. Go to her, My Little Flower Designs, and share it and say, Luanne, hey, taught me this. How cool is that?
I did this. I would love to see it. It's fun. It's easy. And again, all of these materials are accessible for everyone.
Yeah. And you got me, because they're accessible, I'm using Elmer's glue. It's working fine. You got me started, and I'm sure I'm going to eat dinner that David's making, and I'm going to finish this, but I'll show you. Here's I don't know if you can see it. Here's the flowers. That's my version of the flowers that you were doing. And then I have that.
That looks just like your doodles with the big flowers.
I know. That's what I was trying to do.
I have to get a rolling pin because I just
have the rolling pin is fun. Look at, because we draw the doodles sticking up like that, right? We draw it going in, or I show them how to do it. But so I just have them sticking up, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so fun!
It looks like paper, like it's paper thin, which is really pretty. Yeah, which would be good for a lampshade or something that's fabric because the weight. Mine is thick and probably heavier. So that I'm super excited. And the possibilities are endless, really.
Right.
With this.
Exactly.
So
I can't wait for everybody to share. Well, aloha, Sue, and thank you guys. Lou, thank you so much. You know how much I love you.
I love you too. Thank you for having me.
And Peggy says thank you. Everybody's saying thank you.
I'll go back and read the comments and say hi to everyone. Yeah, and thank you for being patient with me.
Oh, yeah. You know how often we deal with these things. It's okay.
I do have to say, not only could I not get on with my phone, but when I started tightening my phone, I hit the emergency. When you hit the volume twice and then
I did that when we were in Chicago, and I was like, no, do not send Policia to me. No. All right, you guys. Hi, Roxanne. Just go ahead and watch the replay if you're coming on here. Thank you so much. Follow Luanne at My Little Flower Designs and me at Cara's Color Me Creative. And let's just keep on creating, guys.
Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone. Thanks, Cara.
Bye. Stay on, Luanne. Stay on. You can talk to me in the back room. Bye.